What's up, food team? How y'all doing? Man, can you guys believe it? It is already September. I don't know what is going on. I feel like the older I get, and I'm not that old, but the older I get, I feel like time goes faster, and it's like it's already like everything's already happening, right? We're already almost to Christmas, throwing the lights up, doing all the things, and I'm like, whoa, let's pump the brakes. But hey, it's coming. Everything is on its way. But man, I'm super excited to be on the once again to be on this team with you guys and just to see how much God is going to work through each and every one of us in this ministry. Um, Man, today I got something cool for you guys. Man, I appreciate all of you guys who responded to the poll that me and Michelle put out about just biblical topics. Like what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want from us? And ultimately, how can me and Michelle better equip you guys and help you guys along your own journeys in faith? Because ultimately, all of us are on a path with Jesus, and He is guiding and leading us through all these different next steps that we're each taking. And so that brings me to, hey, with pretty clear winner is Sermon on the Mount. Out of all of the options that we put on there, and everyone who took the poll, Sermon on the Mount won by 50%. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're gonna jump into that today, and I'm going to be introducing just the idea of what the Sermon on the Mount is, where it's at, and hey, what we're going to be talking about the next couple of weeks. And really, the Sermon on the Mount starts with Matthew chapter 5 through 7. The Gospel of Matthew was dated. It's one of the earliest Gospels, dated to around 70 to 80 AD, kind of. It's usually where most scholars will put it. But ultimately, it's kind of like we don't know for exact sure, but it's a pretty good guess. And really, like I said, we're going to jump right into Matthew chapter 5. And I think the first step in understanding a biblical text is to, hey, break down and see what is the actual intent of the author. Because these are Jesus's words, and Jesus in the Bible is living and active, sharper than any two-edged sword. That's Hebrews 4:12. But ultimately, it's our job to also understand the context and how it's being written, because we live in the 21st century. We don't know all the nuances and the religious practices and all the things of the Jews and all of that fun stuff, because it's complex. It's a different time. And so that leads me to just this. We're going to talk about this three-part structure today, in each of the three parts. And it's just basically this is a big, broad overview of what we're going to be talking about. So it starts with Matthew chapter 5, verses 3 through 16. That's going to be our intro to the Sermon on the Mount. That's how Matthew introduces us to it. And then we get to a body, basically the big chunk of teaching that Jesus talks about. And that's Matthew chapter 5:17 through Matthew chapter 7, verses 12. And then ultimately, Matthew concludes with Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 through 27. And that is essentially the three big chunks of the Sermon on the Mount. And then the body is broken down into three other parts. You have the first part, really, Jesus is talking about the Torah, which is like the law and the prophets and the things like that, the things of the Jewish customs and traditions. And then eventually he gets even the middle part is religious practices. So what are some of the other things that Jews do, whether it be tithing or the sacrifice, whatever, all of that stuff. And then eventually the third part of the main body of Jesus' teaching is the right relationship. And it starts with understanding why is Jesus talking about all these things? Because for us, it's very foreign. But in the intro, and this is what I'm going to come to right now, really Jesus is introducing this idea of a new kingdom. And that's essentially, think of like a tree. That is the vine where all this other stuff is kind of coming from. Is this idea that there is a new kingdom. Jesus is bringing this kingdom to earth. And we, getting to the conclusion, it is our job to make a response to that. And so I think it's super relevant today. I think, as much as this is a complex passage, we can understand it and we can glean from it. And so, man, I just want to say This is super fun. I'm a big Bible nerd. I'm super excited to kind of dive in with you guys. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. It'll probably make more and more sense as we continue on. But just to conclude, that's the picture, right? We have Jesus introducing the kingdom, what that is. We have the body. So that's where he talks about a lot of the religious practices and the Jewish customs of the day, because that is the time that it's set in. And then we have the conclusion, our response, that not only is it the Jews' response, but it's also our response to what Jesus has said. So, man, thank you guys for just letting me just speak some life with you through these devotionals. I'm super excited. A little bit of housekeeping. Michelle is going to be out till the end of September. So, man, if you guys have any questions or if you have any just issues or need anything, let me know. You guys should have my number and email. Michelle sent an email out with that stuff. Other than that, we're bringing wings back. Woohoo! Party time. I'm super excited. We're going to be smoking them this time, so they're going to be really good. And other than that, I don't got anything else for you guys. So I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I can't wait to see you guys on the weekend. Bye.